Olá e bem-vindos ao Conversa Club. Hoje vamos ver a letra U, a vogal U, e tem três sons e que é silencioso. So we're going to look at the various sounds and the non-sounds that the U's will produce or not produce. And that doesn't sound as crazy as you think. You're already used to it as an English speaker, the way that this Q at times may function. But let's start with our stressed U. Again, the U that would sound out, or the accent mark as you see there in the gold letter U. U is really the sound you want to figure out here is U. Okay, so let's look at the first word. It's a word for light. A luge, luge, luge. Singular syllable. There's not much we need to think about there. It's going to be U. Okay, luge. The next one is the word for street. Rua, rua. U, rua. Okay, the next one is the word for blue. Azul, azul. Now there are two syllables there, but it's still in that syllable that we want to pronounce as U. And a lot of our ULs are going to have this sound at the end of words. Azul, azul. And then we have the accentuated syllable at the first one. Útil, útil, útil. Okay, útil. Now, you're probably wondering, why does it have an accent mark on that U if it's the penultimate syllable? Well, the word azul and útil, for example, this is the clearest example, is that words that end in L in Portuguese, that syllable where that L is the accentuated syllable. So even though it's the last syllable, it's the accentuated syllable. So ULs, ILs, ALs, ELs at times, ELs as well, and OLs, all of them, all the Ls will have the last syllable as their accentuated syllable. Well, azul, that one's fine. That one's the accentuated syllable, ends in a UL. But IL would be the accentuated syllable. We want to make sure that the first syllable is the one that we are emphasizing. Útil, not útil, útil. I know it sounds very similar. I'll say it one more time. Útil versus útil. Okay, so just emphasize that first U. That's the one you want to aim for. Again, because of the L's at the end. So let's move on to our unstressed but stable, right? This is where we're largely going to be, a lot of words are going to be in this realm. The U is in that penultimate syllable. It's going to have the open sound that you're going to have there. Luta. It's the word for like a battle or a fight. Luta, luta. Okay? Luta. Ooh, ooh. That's the sound. Very across the board until we get to our nasally sounds, but they're still going to have the ooh sound regardless. And that leads us to our nasally U. Okay, nasally U. You're not usually going to see the tilde over the U, just to show you that that's the sound that we're aiming for here. The word here is our indefinite article one or a or an, the masculine of those. So you don't pronounce the M, don't press your lips. And that's the case for any of these that end in M. As long as you don't press your lips and pronounce that vowel sound the way that you're largely going to need to do so, you're going to nail that sound. You just don't press your lips on that M at the end. Now, in a word like comum, there's two O-M, U-M. That first M, I have to press my lips on that to create the next part of that. But that last M, I'm not going to press my lips on that one, right? So, comum, 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 comum. It's a word for common. Comum, comum, comum. So if you notice, not pressing my lips. Just don't press your lips and you'll nail that sound, right? And then we're going to get to our silent U's. And these are going to come up anytime that you're facing with a GU or a QU that's followed by either an E or an I. That's it, right? If you have a QUE or a GUE, the U is largely silent. Guerra, guerra, the word for war. Guerra, right? There's no guerra, guerra. The next word there is I want, the verb querer, to want, but it's I want. Quero, not quero, quero, right? Quero. Same thing with the question word, que. There's no que, okay? Same thing with guitar here, guitarra, guitarra. We're going right to the GI that you use there, but it's largely silent. Guitarra. Está bom? Pronto, é tudo. These are all of our vowel sounds. Our vowel sounds. I hope you enjoyed this series of videos and that you enjoy the way that I teach the language and I work with the language. I try to make it palatable for non-native speakers and really focus on how you can pronounce these words in ways that you may be already familiar with, just don't have the right pathways to create the sound quite yet. But I assure you, it's totally possible. I don't know. I've been in the language for a really long time. It's been there since birth, so maybe it's easy for me to say that. But if I can do it with practice and emphasis, you can definitely do so as well. So again, I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you enjoyed the video here on the letter U. Check out our conversaclub.com website. If you're looking for more information on how to work with European Portuguese, you can sign up for free and get some freebies to you every so often. We try to publish things multiple times a month. Or join our paid membership platform where you have access to the entire community, the entire series of lessons that are up, mini lessons for day-to-day functional language. Have access to me as your instructor at a discounted rate, according to at least when compared with the non-member rate. And also be aware of and have access to our Sunday classes where we do group classes stemming from beginner 1, beginner 2, intermediate, and we've held advanced in the past for anybody that's really interested in that. And espero vos ver. I hope to see you in the future. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos and join Conversa Club. Até já!